How does pawn structure affect mating nets? Have you ever wondered how the arrangement of pawns can change the game of chess? Today, we will discuss how pawn structure affects mating nets. A mating net is a situation where one player can force checkmate with precise moves. Understanding pawn structure is key to both creating and avoiding these scenarios. First, let's define pawn structure. It refers to how pawns are arranged on the board. This arrangement influences the movement of pieces, control of important squares, and the potential for weaknesses or strengths. A strong pawn structure can support your pieces, while a weak one can expose your king to danger. Now, how does this relate to mating nets? A weak pawn structure can leave key squares unprotected. For example, if your pawns on the king side are poorly placed, they might fail to shield your king from attacks. This can create openings for your opponent to launch a mating net. Pawns can also act as barriers. They can block attacking pieces or create paths for your pieces to attack. A well-placed pawn can prevent your opponent's piece from escaping or counterattacking. However, if your pawns are poorly positioned, they might hinder your own pieces, making it harder to create a mating net. Coordination among pieces is vital for trapping the king. Pawns can support your pieces by providing safe squares for them to move. When your pieces work together, they can effectively surround the opponent's king, leading to a successful mating net. Opening lines is another important aspect. Pawns can clear the way for your rooks and queens to attack. For instance, when a pawn is exchanged, it can open a file for a rook, which may lead to a back-rank mate. This is a common mating net that can catch opponents off guard. Let's consider practical applications. A back-rank mate occurs when a rook or queen attacks the opponent's king along the first rank. If your pawn structure leaves the first rank unprotected, you may fall victim to this type of mate. Another example is the smothered mate. This happens when pawns block the king's escape routes, often with a knight delivering the final blow. Understanding how your pawn structure can lead to these mating nets is essential for both attacking and defending. In the context of avoiding blunders, being aware of your pawn structure can help you prevent falling into mating nets. By maintaining a solid pawn formation, you can avoid creating weaknesses that your opponent can exploit. In summary, the arrangement of your pawns significantly impacts your ability to create or avoid mating nets. By managing your pawns wisely, you can influence the outcome of your games. So next time you play, pay close attention to your pawn structure and how it affects your strategy.